Hi, I'm Beardless Sam from... I didn't want to do this show today because I wanted Jared to do it so I could grow my beard back, but it's going to take longer than like half a week.
It's starting. It's
starting, but it's not here yet, and I'm not a fan. So, you know, just deal with it for this week. It'll be... Jared will come back next week or my beard will be bigger. One or the other.
Write some comments. Make him feel better about his beardless face.
It's not worse. Yeah, so we're here for Manifest Comics in Bayonne, New Jersey for the week of January 21st. And we have 4 comics for you today.
Yes.
As we do.
And listening pleasure.
We'll start with Isaac's.
Okay. The first book I'm going to review is Batman and Robin number 38. This is by the regular team of Peter Tomasi and Patrick Gleason. And it's a really good jumping on point after the return to life of Damian Wayne and Robin. And now he has superpowers. Yeah. And it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a really good art by Patrick Gleason. No one writes the relationship between Batman and Damian Wayne better than Peter Tomasi. Even his creator, Grant Morrison, I don't think ever did it as good as Peter Tomasi does. I think he really enjoys their relationship. And it's a good, fun first part.
Yeah, no, it's fun. It's good. It's fun seeing Bruce have to deal with a superpowered son. Because, I mean, he's had to deal with Robins before, and we've seen that. But we've never had to see him deal with, like, a superpowered sidekick. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. It's a good twist on things. And it's his son who just died, so he's worried about him. And it's just it's a fun book. It's good. I'm glad Damian's back. I'm glad they didn't do anything when they brought Damian back, and they still might. But we're like, you know, they're like, but there's something darker about it. Like, they brought something back with him, and he's not the same. He's the same Damian that he always was. He's just has superpowers. I hope they don't do anything with that. I like it, and it's good.
It's just a really cool idea. I mean, I never would have thought, like, okay, let's give Robin superpowers. Yeah. But it really works for this book.
Yeah, no, it's cool. And like you said, Tomasi is a great writer for that relationship. He has been since the beginning. Like, after he died, it kind of stalled for a little bit, and the series was like, you know, it had ups and downs, but like it was just weird. But now it seems like it's back full speed ahead, and it's just really good.
Yeah, and if you like the return of Damian Wayne storyline, you'll really want to get this.
It's even better. It just feels fresher because we knew where it was going. We knew where the rebirth of Robin was going. We even knew that he was going to get powers at a certain point from like
because they showed this cover like months before.
So like it was kind of like we knew already. So it was good. It just feels fresh. It feels like a start. And I don't know what's going to happen next, and it's good.
I'm just really glad he's the Robin.
Yeah,
I'm really glad
he's a good Robin.
Yeah, I never thought I would have liked him as much as I did, but I really did.
Tomasi did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all Tomasi. Grant Morrison.
Yeah, it's a really good book. I would give it 9 out of 10 Lugos.
9 out of 10 Lugos?
I really liked it.
What? My first book is going to be Ivar the Timewalker from Valiant. We haven't talked about Valiant much on this show. I don't think we've ever reviewed a Valiant book on the show. We've never had a Valiant episode on Cbfu, mainly because like only like 2 or 3 of us read the books. So it's worth picking up Valiant books. There is something for everybody. There's comedy, there's science fiction, there's action, there's all kinds of books you can pick up, and you don't have to like pick up years worth of storytelling. You just pick up volume 1 and then go from there. Speaking of volume 1s, this is a volume 1. It's number 1. You need nothing else to like this book. You just need to understand this book. It's basically all here for you in one issue. And I think it's a pretty great jumping on point to the Valiant universe. If you've read other things, it enhances the world. But you don't have to. It's good. I've always liked the character of Ivar Timewalker, even from back 90s when he had his own series back in the early days of Valiant. I just thought it was a cool character, like kind of like Quantum Leapy. He's always leaping from place to place. It's funny. It's Fred Van Lente. He wrote Archer and Armstrong, which is also it's a funny, fun action book, and this has that same tone. Clayton Henry does the art, and it's really good. So I really enjoyed it. I think it's fun. I think it's funny. I think it's accessible, and I enjoyed it. What do you think?
No, I liked it a lot. I think for people who like Doctor Who, it's very like Doctor Who-ish in a way. This time traveler comes to this woman who is about to accidentally create time travel, and then the adventure goes on from there. Like you said, I don't think you need any knowledge of the Valiant universe to enjoy it, but it's definitely a good jumping on point. In fact, this and also Valiant had the other jumping on point, the Valiant. Which has, I think the first issue came out, and the second issue I think is coming out either this week or next week.
This week. Is it this week, Mike? The Valiant?
Yes, Valiant 2 is out this week.
Valiant 2, and that's another great like.
The art's beautiful.
Yeah.
And the art's good. The art is Paulo Rivera. There's a sign up in my. It's Jeff Lemire, Matt Kinn, and Paulo Rivera. That's another book you should think about picking up. 1 was out last month. 2's out this week. Try that book out too if you're into.
It's a nice gateway to like the Valiant books. Yeah. But I definitely enjoyed this one.
Yeah, it's really good. And I didn't even think of Doctor Who because actually I never knew Doctor Who until they rebooted it recently. Not reboot, whatever. And so to Ivar I knew before that. And so yeah, I definitely recommend this book if you're a fan of time travel, action, fun. If you want to just give a book that's not from the big two a shot, if you've been wanting to give a shot at a Valiant book, give it to this one. It's really good. I would give it 8 out of 10 Lugos.
8 out of 10. Okay. Our next book this is All New X-Men number 35. This is Brian Michael Bendis and art by Mahmoud Asrar. This is the continuation of the X-Men, the original 5 X-Men's Adventures in the Ultimate Universe. It feels like it's dragging a little bit. I feel like the storyline's been going on for maybe a little too long. Maybe they could have cut it by 1. But it's still a fun book. It's still Bendis does some great stuff with the characterizations. I particularly liked Iceman's stuff that happens with him in his adventures in Atlanta, which is fun. But it does feel like the storyline has been going on a little too long. Like they should just like wrap it up and get to the next thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the All New X-Men book started out really strong when Superman Amendment was on it, when they introduced the original 5 again. But at a certain point, it just kind of became aimless. And like maybe it was when they tried to return them to their hometown and they didn't. But I mean, it doesn't. I don't know. It feels weird. It feels off. But it's still a good book. It's still entertaining. It's in the Ultimate Universe, which isn't going to exist for much longer. Neither is the 616. So it's interesting seeing the 2 worlds combined now, right before the end comes in a few months. We'll talk about that in a later episode of Cbfu. But I mean, I like all the characters. The writings, it's good. It's been like, what do you call it, decompressed? Yeah. It's been decompressed.
No, it's just the storyline, it feels like it's been going on. It's been going on, it might have been because of delays and everything that's been going on. It feels like it's been going on longer than it actually has. It feels like this storyline has been going on for a while.
Yeah, but it's more dimension hopping. It's more like heroes at a time, which is going to play a role.
And it's cool seeing the X-Men meet up with the Ultimate Universe and everything. And I do enjoy it. It just feels like it's been going on.
It's the last chance. It's the last opportunity, really, for the Ultimate Universe and the Marvel Universe to, cross over without destroying each other. So for what that's worth, that's cool.
Yeah, no, I would give it I think 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10 seems fair. Last book is Spider-Verse tie-in called Scarlet Spiders. We were having a conversation with a friend of ours the other day about Spider-Verse and how good it is, but at the same time, what book do you have to pick up? An Amazing Spider-Man's book you have to pick up. Everything else is tie-ins, but the tie-ins are important. They feel important.
They flesh out things. They flesh out the event.
Yeah, and this one is important. I can see the events of this book happening in like a page or a panel of Amazing Spider-Man.
Just it probably will. And it probably will.
Because you can't just leave them out. But I mean, it is an important part of the Spider-Verse. So if you are collecting Spider-Verse, you should get this book. It deals with like a major issue that the Spiders have been facing, fighting the Inheritors. And it's the Ultimate Spider-Woman, Peter Parker's clone, it's Ben Reilly, and it's Kane.
It's all clones.
They're 3 clones. And they're fighting one of the genius Inheritors. And one of them dies, as you can tell from the cover. If you're a fan of any of the 3, I'd say pick it up. But especially if you're a fan of Kane or Ben Reilly. It's a really good book for those characters. And it seems like an important part of this series, which has been amazing so far.
Yeah, that's part of the thing about Spider-Verse, is they sort of like do each issue of the main Amazing Spider-Man Spider-Verse is sort of like have this like part where it's like you can see where it like goes off into another like time, but they pretty much show you everything that's necessary in the book. It's just like, okay, now these characters are going off over here and these characters are going off over here, and if you want to read, these books are over here and here. So it's good. I like this. It was a strong written. It's fast-paced book.
Yeah, the art's good. I think, like you said it, nailed it on the head. The way this crossover is going is you just have to read the one book, but the tie-ins flesh things out, but in a good way. Like there's a lot of crossovers that mess that up.
Yeah, no.
Like Axis. Yeah. Original Sin tie-ins were terrible, as far as I'm concerned.
Pretty much.
The Axis tie-ins were probably better than the actual Axis book, so that doesn't count. This one, though, Spider-Verse as a whole, the whole event has been really good. So I would just say, if you got the money, if you got the time, pick up all the parts of Spider-Verse and just get it.
There's none of the tie-ins are bad.
No.
They're all good. Yeah. Whether they're like completely necessary to understanding the title, I don't know, but they're all good.
Yeah, agreed. I give it 7 out of 10 Lugos.
7 out of 10 Lugos.
So we got 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yes.
6, 7, 8, 9. That's the pretty
nice.
Couldn't have planned like we wanted. We didn't plan it, so that worked out. This is the end of this episode.
Yes.
Come to Manifest Comics and buy comics.
We'll see you next week.
Starts tomorrow. We'll see you next week. Star Wars is still here. I can't recommend that enough. I really can't recommend that enough. It's gone to a 3rd printing, so make sure you check it out.
And
the
then
first printing's still here.
Also, next month starts the Darth Vader Star Wars title, and then the month after that is Princess Leia.
Yeah,
all
so that's
three
cool.
Big teams.
Yeah, and now that the first one came out, I'm psyched.
Yeah.
So come to your comic shop, pick up books, and read them, and then let us know what you think of them.
Yes.
All right. Peace.